Getting framed.
Talking, we're vibing.
Okay.
On this 420.
Speaking of vibing,
morning,
man, how the fuck do I fix my credit?
420.
You wanna know how to fix your credit?
No.
Okay.
Now, for real, how do I fix my credit or build credit, Matthew?
Oh, you really asking me?
Yes.
Well, say please first, motherfucker.
Exactly, bro.
Go fuck
Don't
yourself.
Be rude, bro.
I'm sorry, sir. Let me ask.
son.
Let me ask properly.
So, Matthew, how do you build credit?
Hey, you want me to give you a credit crash course?
Crash course.
Yes.
So credit
crash course.
So credit is a rich man's game. That's why a lot of people in the lower income, they think credit is a bad tool. They think credit automatically equals debt. And credit is debt, but there's such a thing as good debt and there's bad debt. Bad debt is, going to college, paying $200,000, fucking working 10 years and not having that paid off.
Taking out a loan.
That's bad debt. Good debt could be taken out a loan. Like, let's say you have
from the mafia.
That's some loan shark shit.
Yeah, that's not a good loan.
That's a good loan.
Debt to be owing.
Yeah, because if you can't pay the debt, you're gonna pay with your life.
Yeah.
But
or your extremities.
Yeah.
They might cut your dick off or something.
Yeah.
Which is arguably worse.
Or you could swim with the
Yeah.
fishes.
Honestly, bro, like if I
put on those concrete boots.
If I got my dick cut off, just kill me at that point.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly.
But what I like to say is that they'll give you a loan for school, but they won't give you a loan for business, and I think that's really stupid because a loan for school, your income is capped. You work for someone, you're gonna have a salary, and that's all you're earning. With a business, your income is variable. You can earn like as little as you want or as much as you want. So let's say you take a loan out. How the fuck you laughing?
Just because something happened.
Okay, so let's say you take a loan out and it's like $100,000 for school or $100,000 for work. And let's say if you graduate school and you make $40,000 a year, you're gonna have to pay that loan off with interest, right? And it's gonna take at least 3 years to pay that loan off with interest. Now let's say you have a business and you make $50,000 profit in your first year, then you make $100,000 profit your second year. That loan is already paid off, and your business has grown to the point where it's like now it's $150,000 that you're producing. So I really find it stupid how the government they give us fucking loans for like school and shit, but for business they be like denied.
Yeah, or they give out crack pipes.
Exactly.
For free.
Like Biden's
that's the funniest shit ever.
Biden is a fucking crackhead.
It's just the funniest shit ever that actually is something that happened, and it's like everyone's so nonchalant and just. I mean, I know it's because like there's so much other shit happening, but
because Robert,
just the fucking things that slide through. It's like
because Robert, would you rather them smoke from dirty, nasty crack pipes on the street, or some nice, clean crack pipes
like,
from the government?
It's like they're trying to do the Sweden thing or the Nordic country shit where it's like, yeah, we're gonna treat our addicts like people. And you give them the right, but it's like America is still America. It's not Sweden where they have recovery program. Like they're just gonna be doing the same shit just with good crack pipes. It's like you're not really helping them. It's just making
keeping the environment
worse.
cleaner.
You're not helping someone by enforcing.
They're going green.
Or enabling their habit.
Gang green.
And it's like I feel like a lot of like people in the Democrat Party, they vote expecting a certain thing and then they get like bullshit, and it happens every single year.
Expectation.
I think the only good like Democratic
for anything.
Well, that's true. A lot of presidents are on bullshit.
There's always, like we said before, the fine print. You gotta always read the fine print because that is where the bullshit lies. That's where you're gonna get fucked.
That's true, because
to put it bluntly,
people voted for Biden thinking he was gonna fix coronavirus and all this shit. Now look, I think the economy's even worse than when it was in COVID.
They voted for Biden because they just wanted Donald Trump.
Yeah, it was just a political thing. Like, oh yeah, don't like this guy, so vote for this guy.
Exactly.
Even though they're both fucking pedophiles.
that video on Instagram, the guy is bleeding Donald Trump to save him.
Yeah,
he's praying to Donald Trump.
Honestly, like. I was talking with a girl and like we both agreed, that both presidents were not like the best people, but when you pick a president, like I'm sorry, but you're not looking at who they are as a person. You're looking at how are they gonna perform the job.
Exactly.
How well are they gonna do it?
Yeah.
And honestly, Trump has done a better job than Biden. His only real fuck up was COVID, because the economy was doing good. It was good. Now look at Biden and all this bullshit that's going on.
Yeah, because I mean he's an asshole. But Americans are assholes, you know. So I feel like Trump is just a reflection of America, and people don't want to accept that, and they think, oh, it's this is that, because it's all, you know.
Because they're looking in a mirror.
Exactly.
Media.
And if you're gonna get an asshole, if you're gonna get a pedophile, just make sure they're the best asshole, they're the best pedophile.
And he was.
The better.
And he was. That's why they wanted him out.
The best pedophile.
I didn't mean it like that.
The best of a bad situation. You know, it's not like we want
Top
them
of the
to be
leaderboard.
Better
pedophiles.
of evils. I didn't mean it like that.
Unfortunately, that's the circumstances that we live in, so that's what we have to adapt to.
That was a funny way to put it.
I didn't mean it like that.
How many kids has he
He was
touched?
the best of the best.
Elect him as president.
Honestly, that shit is sick.
That shit is sick.
It's so sick that we probably shouldn't talk about it because it's just sick. You know, like you know what I mean? Like we know all about that. There's horrible shit that goes on. You can tell people. You can look into it. Look into Epstein Island. Look into Pizzagate. Look into all those things. It's
Pizza.
true. You can go down the rabbit hole. But for our purposes, let's just keep it light. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to talk about how there's a pedophile island where the elites go to. Like, it's so overdone. There's a million places you can go on the internet to see that.
It's so sick. Yeah, we elect them into office. That's what I don't understand.
Well, that's a problem that's been throughout history. That's not even like, oh, that's what's happening now. It's like, generally in history, people in power have been pedophiles. Because I guess it's just that ego God complex.
They're just doing it for fun now.
They think, they can get away with anything. You know
They're just doing it for fun now, like for shits and giggles. It's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Let's manipulate everybody.
I'm so powerful, nothing can touch me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like,
When you lose humility.
it's just ridiculous.
Oh man.
And you can say, oh, you don't know it's ridiculous because you're not in their shoes, but it's like, it's ridiculous. You don't need to be because as a human being, it's like, bro.
Like we're electing a
Like,
human being.
Come on. You can do better shit with your money.
Yeah.
Exactly. You could do better shit with your time, honestly.
Time, because that's what money really is time.
Yeah.
People think money is a measure of finance, like it's a measure of your time, how much time you spend to invest in that money, or how much time
You literally get paid by the hour.
investment of time, exactly.
You
Time
get
is money.
paid by the hour.
The infamous statement, time is money.
You go to
literally.
vote and you get the same bullshit. You're wasting your time.
Exactly.
Now it's different if you're using your time to do something you love and you're making money. If you're making money doing something you love, then okay, all power to you. But if you're making money and spending your fucking time on something you don't want to do, then that's when you get trapped.
That's called being a wage
I mean, you don't get necessarily trapped because it depends on your mindset. Like, if you're the type of person that could say, okay, I'm working this job, it's a limited time thing, this is not going to be my career,
Mm-hmm.
then, I mean, that's fine because that's just how we exist.
Yeah.
You know, we need these jobs because we come up from these lower class places. We're not in positions we're not the son of a CEO, that you're in a position of power, that you're already born rich. It's like you got to come up. So sometimes the only way to do that is to shitty job after shitty job after shitty job. So, but hopefully you're taking that time that you're not working that shitty job and investing it in yourself, and investing it in something you enjoy, or investing it on something rather than nothing.
As long as you're investing it into the dream and you know you have to deal with fucking bullshit first.
Yeah, but what if your dream is to build a thermonuclear bomb in your basement and fucking blow up Manhattan? Like, is that really...
Go for it, bro.
Go ahead. That's your dream.
Because everyone's like, oh, go for your dream, bro.
Yeah.
Whatever your dream is, you could do it. But
And
like,
it's
what if
the
that's
cops-
someone's dream?
It's
and
the cops' dream
we're inspiring
to
them
stop you.
to go do their dream, and
Go
then
ahead.
that's their fucking dream.
It's necessary.
And then we fucking die because we were like, they were like, yo, man, you're right, bro. Now I'm gonna fucking blow you up too.
Now I'm gonna go to
This is
fucking
the
Times
price of
Square and
philosophy.
fucking...
If your dreams about death or extremism, please don't follow your dreams.
It's funny you said that though, because didn't they actually poison Socrates
But
They didn't poison him.
why should that be the case?
They executed
The
him.
laptop's
with
done.
hemlock?
They executed him.
Yeah, they poisoned him.
Robert
Well,
Like it was intentional. I get what you mean, but that was the method they used to kill him.
I don't mean to interrupt, but the laptop's
It's good.
done.
No, it's not. It's good. It's
Okay.
plugged in. You gotta
It's
just
not.
relax, bro.
It's
It's
not
good.
plug- it's not plugged
good,
in.
bro. It's not.
No,
What happened?
the laptop's not plugged in.
Oh my god.
Why isn't it plugged in?
Can you plug
I'm
it in?
staying alive,
Wait,
staying
no,
alive.
I can't get up from here. No, you can't. I'm asking Nick because he's the only one that can reach. It's in the wall.
It's in the
Remember when you
wall.
called this nigga Edwin?
It's in the wall. It's in my dick.
I just gotta edit. What were we talking about? Oh
Talk about
you said
Socrates. You said
Socrates.
they
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
Socrates.
no one is hated more than he who speaks the truth.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's the whole thing behind that.
But at the same time,
kill a
Socrates is
philosopher.
pretty annoying. Like, imagine you're chilling, some dude comes up to you, is like, "What's justice?" And you're like, "Yo,
Love
bro,
life
Yeah.
now.
I'm just trying
Because
to
you
get
may
some
never get it
fix."
later on.
I guess that's the kind of thing where it's like you need that person to ask those questions, but
Yeah.
also people who are just living their lives like carpenters, and they probably don't want to be bothered with that bullshit.
But by the way,
because
guys,
they're just so stressed out by life itself that asking these fucking questions is pointless because they gotta go make their money. They
I
gotta
need
go do
to
their shit.
I need to make this
Yeah.
clear. I'm not saying that they executed Socrates because he was annoying. That's not what I'm saying. It was more of like a fucking.
Or maybe
he
it was
a-
because he was
pretty
annoying.
No, it wasn't. It was mostly because
We
he
need to
was.
we need to get this nigga off the fucking plan. He's annoying.
I mean,
That might have been part of it, but most of it was like he was influencing the youth.
yeah,
It's
less
a thinking
annoyance
away
and
from the
more
government.
like influence.
Yeah.
Because it's like once you see someone has an influence and they're speaking truth and they're saying something real, it's like that's a threat to
our power.
this system we created. And that's just a thing that's been repeating over and over and over again. It's human nature.
The man who created the hydro-powered car. I'm not really sure what his name is, but he created a device where it's a vehicle that's powered by water,
Eric Schfinkter.
and he just fucking
Is that his
died.
real name?
No, that's not his name.
Yeah, I was about to say like, no, that's funny.
I'm not sure what his name is, but he created a hydro-powered car, and then a few weeks later, he fucking died.
Did he drown?
And
In
they
his car?
destroyed his car. They took away his car. Took away the
Did
patents
they
for the
blow it
car.
up like GTA?
I mean, that's a good thing because it's like if the industry would have went that direction, water would have been a very high valued fucking resource, and like
No.
people in this fucking world need water, and it's like if we would have used that. Well, no.
How did it
because
work?
I'm not really
Because
sure.
if that's the
Nick,
case,
come
water,
on, bro.
the
Is
water.
Is that really why you think? Is that really why you
No,
think
no,
that is?
no. Of course, it's because of the larger companies that rely on gas and they make their money off of
Exactly.
gasoline. But also, it's
If
like
a car ran on water, it'd be fucking easy to get the fuel. Like it's not like water's gonna run out because we got water powered cars.
that's very true. Yeah.
It's the opposite. It's like it's just gonna be easier to get a car and have it fueled. Which is, that story has repeated over and over again too. Look at the reason why weed is legal in most of the world, and particularly America to this day, federally, is because of nylon fabric. Because hemp was the most efficient fabric to use for anything. The first car was made out of hemp by Henry Ford. I'm dead ass. It was made out of hemp. It was such a great building material. It was great for anything, paper, anything you needed. Hemp was the thing. So the creator of nylon fabric lobbied against weed, basically hemp, and basically started putting out racist messages that Mexicans were coming in smoking weed and raping people and killing people, which wasn't true at all. And that was all manufactured because he wanted nylon fabric to be the number one thing people used. Which, if you know what I'm talking about, it's like that plasticky material, like remember the lanyards they used to make in elementary school, that shit. So that's why weed is illegal. It's like, it's so stupid, but it all goes back to the interest of a business interest, someone else's interest. It's very rarely protection.
Yeah.
It's very rarely, we're doing this because this is genuinely what's best for the people. No, it's best for a select few people.
Or like Nikola Tesla, fucking
That's
electricity
another
through
one
the
I was
air.
thinking about.
That's fucking beautiful invention, and then tossed.
Not tossed, just not acknowledged,
Yeah,
because it's
not utilized to
clearly
its full potential.
not going to benefit the select few.
Yeah. It's
gonna
all about the
benefit the
money,
the
money,
masses.
money. All they care about is money, money,
I don't
money.
even think it's about money. I think it's about, I feel like at some point the zeros just add up, and then it's just more about like a sadistic, like ego, I'm a god, I have money thing, rather than they want to accumulate more wealth. Like I genuinely feel like it's more like
Pride.
Power.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, pride, the greatest sin. It's funny because that box right there says "Made with Pride," right?
Haha.
Made
It's
out of
funny that you
pride.
mentioned it though, because it was right there. But yeah, man, pride is often that's the greatest sin, because it's like
It's so easy.
yeah, exactly. But it's also the one that is the most accepted, I
Yeah.
suppose, because it's like, oh, you should feel proud of yourself. That's like
Yeah.
so common, and that's not seen as a bad thing to be pride, like a gay
Mhm.
pride. That's seen as a very good thing to be prideful of who you are. But it's like no, really, it's one of the seven deadly sins. So it makes you think it's like pride is the devil. J. Cole.
Pride is the devil.
You got a hold on me.
Well, what? I think it's more of a spectrum. Of course, you should be proud of yourself if you achieve something, but it comes to a
That's
point.
not what the Bible says, Edwin.
No,
Fuck the Bible.
yeah, it's just man.
There's a point where like you
Flawed book. written by
you
flawed
use your
men.
pride as a way to see yourself above other people.
Yes.
Yeah, but then it's like when you use that pride to throw it in others' faces, like I'm above you.
When your pride negatively impacts other people, in a sense.
That's when it's the devil.
You have a really hot voice.
Thanks, man.
That's when pride is the devil.
Yeah.
When it impacts someone else. But what if you don't even mean for it to impact
Yeah,
someone
but
else?
that's the thing. It's like through every
Look at social media.
through
it's
every
like,
positive action, there's a negative reaction.
exactly. So it's like you could be posting like, I helped fucking kids with cancer in the hospital.
Yeah, and then there's
then
some fat Joe
someone-
Schmo in
And
the
no,
fucking.
someone's gonna look at that and say, "Damn, I'm a piece of shit. I wish I was doing that." You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna
Yeah.
make them feel bad, even though you're not.
That's not
doing
my
something
fault.
Bad.
That's their fault. Projecting that onto themselves.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like that can still, even if
Yeah.
it's in a positive way, it still can
man,
inspire.
I'm too
That's an
Negative
unintentional
emotion.
sin. Like you don't intend for that, but God is still gonna punish you for that
In a way,
because that
that's-
causes
in a way-
something negative in the
I
world.
feel like that's good though, because now he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm a piece of shit. Let me fucking do something else."
Probably
If he
not.
doesn't-
Yeah,
well,
if
but-
he doesn't do that, then he is a piece
but
of shit.
God
but
isn't
he
gonna
can
see
also
that.
acknowledge that and be like, "Yeah, I'm a piece of shit."
But God isn't
That's
gonna
all
see
I'll
that.
be.
God,
You know what I'm
God,
saying? Like he
God-
might not want to be inspired.
He's watching it. He's like,
if he doesn't want to
man,
be inspired, that's a
man,
problem with
I'm a
himself.
piece of shit.
That's not the
Starts
Man.
eating his
person that
Cheetos.
posted it.
That's true.
But
I'm
then
not
he's-
saying it is the problem with the person. I'm just saying like it can inspire negative feedback even if it doesn't intend to, and that's not the person's fault. It just is.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
they can really go for anything. You can't. I don't know. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem like a reasonable argument to
It's
me.
like the argument of a gun. A gun is just a tool.
That's like saying
versus
like,
guns are
oh,
bad because they kill people. It's like no, it's a tool.
yeah, you
People kill
give
people.
you give birth, but what if that person is a serial killer?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like-
you fucking piece of shit! You
Yeah.
gave birth to a serial killer. Like what the
Adolf-
fuck?
Adolf Hitler's mother is a real
But
piece
you
of
know what's
shit.
crazy? We live in a time where people will fucking say shit like that.
yeah.
They'll be like, "Yo, you're fucking horrible because you gave that person the benefit of the doubt and they turned out to be a rapist." You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't fucking know they were raping anybody, right? I'm not saying this is an actual situation. I'm just theoretically, hypothetically. I'm not saying I knew that, but it's like you're gonna come at me because that like it's just an ignorance. Not
Yeah.
everyone knows everything, and everyone thinks they know everything. So when someone's ignorant to something, instead of saying, "Hey, you're ignorant to that. Let me teach you how it is," they say, "Hey, you're ignorant. Fuck you, you motherfucker. Fuck you."
Like when
Bitch.
Will
Yeah.
Smith smacked Chris Rock. She has alopecia, you motherfucker! I didn't know. You should have knew. Fucking
Yeah,
smacks him.
exactly.
Now, honestly, when people assume shit, that creates dangerous precedents. Like, there are a lot of court cases that go on where people assume that someone is guilty before, like, they're even proven guilty, and that could actually influence someone's life.
Yeah.
That's literally where they're gonna spend the rest of their life in jail if they're found guilty.
That can
And I think
derail
that's
it.
like an effect called like the social media like guilty effect, where people think you're guilty just based
Yeah.
on opinions on social media.
I watched something very related to that last night. It was a panel where a bunch of people were talking about basically like rape cases and how Me Too has basically affected like rape culture in America and made the situation better. And they're just basically talking about the effects that social media has and how it's a really like a double-edged sword, because on the one hand it allows you to spread the message to a lot of people, and which would allow you to ruin the reputation of, let's say, like very famous or wealthy people that would before nobody would have cared because they're above the law essentially.
Yeah, like all the pedophiles that come out.
Yeah, but also you get fucking crazy lunatics that take everything to the extreme, and now they have a thing where, oh, if a woman comes forth with a rape case, you should automatically believe her, and that it's on
Yeah, like
guilty until proven innocent,
what?
basically.
Yeah, that's not how the American justice system works. It should always be innocent until proven guilty. It should always be on the burden of someone to prove that
Yeah,
someone
but
is guilty.
everyone assumes the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You know, instead of giving people the benefit of the doubt.
And that's
It's not even about like assuming the worst. Like, your personal bias is always gonna play a role, but at the same time, like, you shouldn't have let that affect how you prosecute it.
But I feel like a lot of people now, like, okay, let's say someone has a black eye. They'll look at that person like, oh, that person's a thug. They get into fights. They're bad. You know what I'm saying? Instead of,
Yeah, like what if you
they
were
fucking fell into a door.
yeah
Maybe they got
they were riding their
jumped.
skateboard and they fucking fell on their
Yeah,
face.
like no one gives that benefit. Not no one, but a lot of people don't give that benefit of the
Yeah.
doubt. They just see something and they automatically assume the worst possible scenario.
Or their bias.
Yeah,
And a lot of that has to do with the bias, though. Like you said,
it's also
environmental bias because everyone comes from a different life, and everyone's life experiences shape how they
It's
feel
all
and what they think.
subjective, man.
It's also a very just complex situation because especially with rape, it's one of the hardest crimes in general to like prosecute or prove or anything, because a lot of the time it just comes down to he said, she said.
Mm-hmm.
So it
And they're always gonna believe her over him.
Well, not necessarily.
now
It's just
maybe
now.
Necessarily,
maybe now, but
Yeah.
over the course
especially if the
he
internet.
uses me believe him.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just
there's just a
one
rare.
It
of the
really
impacts
depends
of
on
social
the
media.
case.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the evidence
Like,
presented.
look at that thing that happened in Bushwick, not like I think it was a couple years ago, that the little girl got ran over, but the person that did it was the sister of an NYPD sergeant. So like she didn't get any prosecution at all for it, and it was like a huge problem, but nothing came of
I
it
remember that.
because like when you have those connects and the position of power, it's like you get away with shit like that. You know, it's like it's just a fucking manipulation of a system.
And there was actually a famous, like, rape case, and it was this guy named Brian Banks, and, he was supposed to go into the NFL, but some girl had said that, that he raped her at a party, and he spent years in jail, he didn't get to play in the NFL, and there was one time where the girl actually met up with him, and she confessed to him, oh, I didn't, you didn't rape me, I just said that. And he actually, wore a recording to the meeting, and then he got that. And then once the judge heard him, they cleared him of everything. But by the time that happened, he
Yeah.
couldn't play.
He
in the,
lost his whole life.
he was too old to play in the NFL. He didn't get to choose his dream. So it's like,
Exactly.
when people say things like that, usually they're not lying because that's really serious. But there always has to be that benefit of the doubt. Because if someone is lying, you're putting an innocent man through all the consequences that come with that. So you have to really make sure that they're guilty. I'm not saying that, majority isn't a lie, because I don't think majority is a lie. But for those very few instances, it's always going to be worse to put an innocent man in jail rather than let a guilty person walk free, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because then you're making someone pay for the consequences that never even occurred, or for actions that never even occurred.
That's
And
always
that's really evil.
the duality of law. Can't catch them all, but you shouldn't put innocent people in jail.
Exactly.
It just comes down to the evidence and like how other people feel of the situation. Honestly, it's just a clash between logic and emotion. Because like a woman can really make the audience feel very emotional and sympathize for her, and then the man will be like, yo, like I really didn't do that, like he'll present evidence that shows it, but they won't believe it because it's like
A logical argument, but not thematic enough. Not appealing.
And this is also
Yeah.
all.
or not as alluring.
Yeah, this is also
Let's
all
say.
appealing to the idea that this is adhering to the legal definition of rape, because there could always be a woman that like, you know, she feels like she got raped, but by the legal definition she didn't, and that doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily
and that's a
like
whole nother issue.
that doesn't really invalidate her feelings about it, but just in
Right.
the legal sense, you know, you can't send them to jail.
Yeah, and then
You know
it's,
what I mean?
but then it's like we live in a society now where it's like it's ruled by the village of popular opinion. So it's like even
like
if
my mic is
someone
really
is
loud, bro.
legally clear, they cannot be clear in the collective conscious that we have on social media and online now. And so that subjects them to death threats, being swatted, all these crazy things people can do now because everything's so accessible, everyone's information is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
People get doxxed, like people have their whole fucking lives ruined, sometimes over nothing. Sometimes over absolutely nothing, because there was a streamer that he got swatted because some guy was just fucking with him, and they shot him and he died. You know what I'm saying? It's
I
like,
think it was actually like
but the person that did that got arrested.
he got into an argument in like Call of Duty or something.
Yeah, he got exactly. You know, fucking Call of Duty argument. He sent a SWAT team to his house. He fucking shot him. It's like, yo.
That's also just
It's
fucked up on the
crazy.
police's part.
Well, yeah, but that's a whole. But still, in general, like, bro, you don't set a SWAT
Just
team
adding
to
that.
someone crib
I'm not-
because they fucking
I'm
they
not.
spited you in Call of Duty. Like, come on,
yeah,
bro.
I'm not. I'm not trying to say that the guy is like
Imagine-
relieved of the fault.
Imagine you're on a Call of Duty server and you say, "Yo, your mother's breath smells like shit," and then you get fucking swatted and killed.
Nigga uses a real life kill streak on you.
Maybe he didn't even say something that
SWAT
bad,
kills
bro.
you.
Maybe he was just like, yo, you can't aim, bro.
Yo,
Yo,
bro.
Fucking send a
Yo,
SWAT
bro.
team,
Go
bro.
to the
I'm gonna
capture
send
the flag,
I'm gonna
bro.
send niggas that can really aim.
Yeah,
Like, yo, you wanna play Call of Duty? Alright, we're gonna really play Call of Duty. You know what I'm
that
saying?
circles are on back.
Yo, Rob,
Pride.
lower like the sensitivity of my mic, bro.
Got you. Which one are you?
That's that one.
Yo,
Yeah, four.
please don't let it do that thing.
You're good. Just keep talking.
Uh,
Carry on the convo.
You can hear me?
That's my mic.
Yeah,
you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
I was gonna say that
Your
circles
voice.
back to the original.
All right,
original
that's good.
deadly sin of pride, because people can't take that joke against them. It really hurts their egos, so they be like, "Nah, I'm not gonna take that shit. Now I'm gonna call a SWAT team on you and fuck your shit up." It's like over a fucking video game. Like, how
It's
stupid
so
and
absurd,
mature.
bro. That's so fucking absurd. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just immaturity. I feel like high school is just like a program to show you how the world is gonna be, and I feel like most people don't evolve past high school.
And it's also
honestly.
like just
The
the
high school mentality,
the
popularity contest,
the way men are raised,
all this bullshit.
the way men are raised to not to
To shut
like,
the fuck up
to
and
not
and
be
do
stepped on, in a sense,
And
to
not
not
cry
let
about it.
anyone fuck with you. But some people take it to the extreme where like they get insults or they call the fucking SWAT team on your house. Like, yeah, I ain't no bitch. I'm gonna SWAT this
Yeah,
nigga.
meanwhile, it makes you look like the biggest bitch ever.
For
'Cause
real.
you did all that.
And you
Not
gotta let
us.
someone else do it.
And,
Yeah,
now, and now you're in jail because you got a man killed.
Tip out there: if you don't want to look like a bitch or a pussy, just
Walk away.
Ignore it. Yeah,
Turn off the
walk
game,
away.
That's
bro.
the best thing you can
Turn
do.
off the game. Literally.
As they say, be the bigger person.
Yeah.
You don't have to give all your energy to
Have the bigger
to
cock.
fight and just argue and yell and scream and fight physically sometimes.
That's the perfect segue into the conversation I had, bro.
Let's go.
She was telling me, because she lives with her grandmother, right?
Right.
And her grandmother is like fucking crazy.
Who is this she?
Her grandmother is crazy, bro. Like, she's telling me how she's talking to her grandma. She's like, "Oh, I need stuff from the store, blah, 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 blah. 'Cause my tonsils hurt or whatever." She's like, "Okay, I'll go to the store." And then she goes to her room to, like, get ready. And then her grandma comes, and she's like, "You need to be more compassionate. And, you know, I shouldn't have to ask. You should know. You should just get these things because you know I'm in pain." And he's just like, "I'm going to the store to help you." She's like, "I didn't even hear you say that. When did you say you're going to go to the store?" And blah, blah, blah. She's texting me like, "Oh, my God, this bitch is fucking crazy. This bitch is crazy." And I call her. I'm like, "Yo, look at it from this perspective. You're like, you're trying to understand her and you're trying to assign logic to her when there is none. There's no logic.
Right.
She's being irrational. There's no point in you trying to like create a fucking reality where she's making sense, because she's not making sense.
Robert, you can relate to that very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
She is not making sense, and so at that point you go, okay, she's not
Walk
making
away.
sense. Exactly. So what do? You remove yourself from the situation. You just take a step back and you evaluate it. And I'm like, obviously you're a human being, you know, you have emotions, and it's hard to do that in the moment, you know.
Yeah.
But the more you do it, the better you get at it.
And the better you feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because when you're stressing so much to fucking fight with illogic, because that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
illogic. It's not logic. It's illogic.
Yeah.
You're gonna just hurt your brain because it's not gonna work.
I told her, take a step back, look at the situation, go, okay, she's yelling at me. All right, she's mad
Go
because
to the store.
she doesn't think I wanna help her. Okay, she's saying I'm gonna make an Instamart account because you don't want to go to the store for me. So what do? Do you argue with her to not make an Instamart account, or do you
Yeah.
just let her do it?
It's like someone said, "Yo, finish this puzzle." But the puzzle was like someone took fucking 10 different puzzle boxes and mixed them all up, and they're telling you to solve it. It's like there's no way you're gonna solve it.
And then they're
so you're just
fucking
gonna-
yelling at you like, why are you not fucking solving it? Why are you not fucking solving it?
You're
Solve
just
it right
You're
now.
just gonna stress yourself out doing that. There's no point.
Hey, can you go get me some water? Sure, get them the water. They go, why don't I have my water yet? And you give them the water. There's no fucking ice. Why isn't there ice in the water?
It's
You
like,
didn't
the
ask me.
episode, it's like the episode of SpongeBob.
You didn't ask for ice. Well, you should have fucking assumed and read my mind.
It's like the episode of SpongeBob where he takes care of Squidward. And he's like, gets comfortable, and then he's like, I didn't ask for that. There's a lemon seed in my water, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he gets so comfortable, but that's something that actually happens in life, is like, we get so comfortable.
And that's what happens when you don't set boundaries.
Exactly, but that also is something that happens, like you're saying, as her grandmother, with figures of authority, especially in regards to
Yeah.
family, because they feel like they're the authority.
They're
so
the
no
elder.
matter what they say, you have to listen,
They're the elder.
even if it's illogical. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how they were brought up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like in the world we live in now, it doesn't make any sense to do that anymore. Something's illogical. It's illogical, and you're aware it is. So don't feel like you have to force yourself to be there if you don't want to be there,
Yeah.
or if someone is disrespecting you, disrespecting your time, disrespecting your energy.
Yeah, practice
Protect your energy.
not engaging in every single conflict that you're met with.
Absolutely.
And also know how to pick your battles, you know? Pick your battles. And I'm telling her, like, you know, you need to evaluate whether this is actually worth fucking arguing over. Like, obviously, if, like, let's say she came into her room, she fucking takes her phone and breaks it, you know? Obviously, that's something you should argue over, because she's violating your property and your personal space. But if she's fucking arguing with you because she thinks that you don't want to go to the store, like, bro,
Even though you're going to the store?
no, not even. Like, even if she didn't want to go to the store, what the fuck are you gonna gain from arguing with her about? No, I do want to go to the store. No, you don't. Oh, no, yes, I do. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you gonna do, bro? Just let her be mad.
It all goes back,
And
as
think.
Matthew said, the original sin of pride and the ego.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to be right, and even if you know you are right, it's like that satisfaction of
A
getting
sense
the
of
other
authority.
person to say, hey, you're right, even though they might not ever admit it, because it's like they're just illogical, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not gonna see what you're saying because they don't think the same, and they don't want to think
Yeah,
the same.
that-
They don't even want
that's-
to entertain the idea.
That's what I had to go through today, because it's like I went to school to give them my financial aid information, and they're asking me for physical copies of the information, and I'm asking them, like, why do I need to bring in physical information when it's already on my application? If you have access to my application, why would there be a need to bring in physical documents? Can't you just view my shit on the application? And they're like, oh no, you have to do it this way, we need physical documents. And that's, you know, what Robert said, is that sense of authority. They feel like they're higher than you, and they've been doing it longer than you, so you have to give them what they want. And it's like, it sucks because it's like I have to spend my time and waste my time fucking getting these physical documents when they have access to it already. It's like people want to waste your time because they're wasting their time.
Yeah, that's also just a concept, like, not a concept. That's just an aspect of, like, protocol, you know? It's not, I don't really blame people in those situations because they're not the authority. Their authority is their boss.
There's someone else,
you know,
that's
and
telling them,
yeah.
yo,
They're-
you gotta get those.
Their boss, the one that isn't there, not dealing with it, is the one telling them how to deal with it.
Yeah.
As stupid as that sounds, it's what happens.
Yeah, man. That's what happens when you work for somebody.
And they
instead
probably-
of working with somebody.
Yeah, they probably think it's just as much bullshit as you do, but they do
Yeah.
it because they
have to.
they want to keep their job, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's back to what Matthew was talking about, having a job versus having a business. It's scalable. When you work with people, you get shit done. But when you work for somebody, you feel like you don't want to get shit done because you're not getting anything done.
Yeah, when you collaborate.
Yeah.
When you work
Collective
for somebody,
interest.
you're disposable.
Mm-hmm.
When you work with people, you're an invaluable asset.
Exactly. You're
Yes.
irreplaceable because you're part of the...
You're part of the
Unit.
cog machine.
Yeah, it's like it all goes back to primal, you know, like hunter-gatherer tribes. You know, you needed the hunters and you needed the gatherers. And you needed all of them because then the society, then the village wouldn't work. It just
Yeah.
couldn't function. Everyone has a role to play and everyone is vital.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the way it should be.
Yeah, but then
But that's
that...
not the way corporations like to do it.
But then it's like it gets to a sense
Very
where some people feel like they're putting in so much or more than others. They feel that sense of superiority where they're like, "Oh, I do more than you."
Like
This
the Blink manager.
yeah, it's like, "Oh, I do more than you. I'm the manager." It's like, "No, you can't do it that way even though the equipment is meant to do that, just that." It's like, dude,
For context, we got kicked out of the gym.
yeah, we got banned from a gym because we were
for being
using
the shit.
we were using a piece of equipment that was meant to slam on the core, and we were doing it, using it for its purpose because that's what it's there for, and the manager banned us and for using it how it was supposed to be meant for. And we
Should
signed a
be legal.
disclosure statement saying that we are liable for any damages, or if we get hurt, it's not on them. So it's like, she's the manager, but she doesn't understand her own fucking rules.
Yeah, and I really think that was just a flex,
Yeah.
like a power flex, like to say, hey, you are these powerful, intimidating, like, men, and
Mhm.
I am this woman in this position of authority, so I'm going to try to control you in the way that I can, and we just weren't having it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, we just had to go. 'cause it's
We
like,
just had to
that
fucking.
the energy
We
was
had to
not melding.
destroy that, even though we didn't destroy it because she still works there, and you know she
Yeah,
went
that
on with her day.
relationship, that
Yeah.
interaction was like, I don't want to carry this energy forward. Like,
I mean,
need to
I'm-
respect my energy and get the fuck out of here.
I'm not banned, at least. I spoke to her today, and she was just like, "Oh, you know, just don't do it again." I'm like, "I really don't give a shit. I don't really want to
bro,
speak to you."
in all honesty, you have
Yeah.
to understand that was like in the moment thing. She probably doesn't give a fuck who comes, who
Yeah.
goes, because she's not, like Edwin said, she's not there,
Mhm.
and she's not telling people what to do.
Yeah.
So the employees of Blink, who, you know, we know are not going to really say anything unless there's haters. There's always haters and
Yeah.
shit. But, you know what I'm saying? Like,
There's
now
some
it's
who
good.
understand, and there's some who
The
don't.
the whole point of it goes back to pride and ego. It's like, yo, they're not doing something bad. It's not like we were fucking, like, he was bleeding on the floor, screaming and crying, help me!
You did hit him in
help
his dick,
me!
though.
Help me, oh my god!
I feel like if you didn't hit him in his dick, it would have been perfectly fine.
I feel like no matter what we would have did, she would have fucking had a problem with it. How about that one?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because eventually, it's just,
Yeah.
you see it, and just haters hate, bro. It's what they do.
Yeah.
Haters hate. So they see that, they see you doing
They try to
something,
destroy
they see
your
you
fucking
progressing,
momentum.
and they have to hate because it's just what they do.
Is
It's in the
because she's on a
programming.
fixed income and we are just fucking flourishing.
She's in the Matrix.
We're out of it.
And we're out of the Matrix. Well, we're still in the Matrix.
But
Like,
we're
got
aware.
unplugged.
We are aware that we're in the Matrix.
I'm hiding in the shadows.
But I am the shadows.
I am the shadows. They think I'm hiding in the Matrix.
I
And I
am the
am.
Matrix.
No, I am.
I am. That's what Jesus said. I think he just said they were like, "Yo,
Who are
what
you?
are you?" And
I
he
am.
said, I am.
Jesus.
I am. I
He
am.
didn't say that. He just
Yeah.
said, "I am."
That guy forgot to write it down in the Bible.
Well, any closing thoughts? Any conclusions you guys have? I think this was a very great conversation regarding like pride and the human ego and how that
Mhm.
affects our relationships with each other.
Mhm.
You know, but I feel like we have that in check.
Yeah.
Like how
But
short
one thing
topic.
to, remember from this
A
podcast.
superhero dose of psychedelics will get your ego in check.
But one thing to remember and to always take from this podcast, specifically from this episode,
Fuck it back.
is to get your credit up and use it wisely and smart.
And
Because
don't
that
swap
is
people.
going to help you financially for the rest of your
Get
life.
your credit up, now you're funny up.
Yeah. Be funny, but don't use your credit funny.
Get your
Be
credit
smart.
up, not your debit up.
Exactly. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
like that.
You can never get your debit up. You can only
There's no
use up your
There's
debit.
no debit score. There's only a credit score.
Yeah, man.
There's
Utilize
no
it, and it
debit
will
Learn
be
how
nice
laugh
to
at
you.
yourself.
Yes, do not be serious. You can be serious with yourself, but when you're too serious, you don't enjoy
Just
shit.
become a
learn how
dick.
to laugh at yourself.
Yes.
become a
Seriously,
dickhead.
it's that simple.
Yeah,
because
man.
People just take shit too seriously.
Yeah, man. The other day I hit
They
my
don't know how
fucking
to
head.
laugh at themselves.
I hit my head on the fucking train, and everyone was just looking at me seriously, and I'm just the only one laughing. And it was just beautiful because
That's
it's
probably why
like,
they were looking at you seriously.
yeah, because I was laughing. They can't handle that. They hit themselves in the head. They're like,
Their
oh, I'm
pride,
embarrassed.
Embarrassment.
Nah, man.
Bullshit.
It was just funny to me. I'm like, yo, that shit hurt.
Any closing
Fuck it.
statements that are off-topic jokes?
Like dick.
That's a good one.
That was a very short joke.
Jesus.
That was a very short.
You think
and sweet
Jesus
joke.
had nice hair?
Wait,
Or
I
was
got
it like nasty
I
ass,
got a fun
dirty,
joke.
fucking
What's your joke,
You
Robert?
ready?
frizzy, dreaded hair?
Goodbye.